battle of the maccabees against the Greeks was not only whether they'll be given the opportunity to do Torah mitzvahs or not. It was much more against the Greek culture. And therefore, what it means to us, we have to distance ourselves not only from those that can stop us or things that can move us away only from Torah mitzvahs, it's even from things that move us away from the spirit of Torah mitzvahs. We know that the Milchama, the story of Pach HaShemen, which we celebrate the fact that the oil lasted for 8 days, had they gone only by the law itself, not by the spirit of the law, had they gone only by halacha, such a tumah as nitche b'tzibur, they could have lit on tameh oil. But they said today's Chanukah HaMizbeach. We're being mechanech the Mizbeach. We have to go the best of the best. And that's why this Nes is commemorated by everybody in such a way. It's not just by the letter of the law. Everybody does Mahadrin Mina Mahadrin. Because this is the point of the battle. Now I want to discuss for a second what it means to be sensitive to the culture of Yiddishkeit and distance ourselves and run in the opposite direction of Greek culture. Mashkacha Pratas today in our minyan, we were lacking a tenth, and one of our members found someone which is sadly on substances and is neglected, is homeless, and he brought him in. We gave him food, we gave him a yarmulke, and he joined our minyan. He put on tefillin, he said Shema, and he was one of the 10 oinim. And on the other side of the shoulder was set up cakes and pastries for Chanukah, milchik. I noticed that at some point he went over and he was coughing, and people in the shul started noticing with the corner of the eye. They wanted to notice whether he's coughing close to it, whether he's touching, what he's touching. And I thought to myself, there's a fascinating point here. If he would have coughed in the wrong direction over it, or he would have touched another pastry, regardless of how beautiful and how tasty and how good they smelled, nobody would touch it. Why? Because if it touched something that's unclean, they wouldn't touch it. Doesn't matter if a whole platter of sushi. If maybe it touched schmutz on the way, maybe it fell for a second, a dog, and maybe one of them, it's not sure which one, nobody's going to touch the whole cake, the whole platter. That's the way we have to run away from Greek philosophy. If you see something that may not be Mekoyer B'Kedusha, it comes from the way the world's perspective is on certain things. Why? Because that's the way the world dresses. If there's something that's running in the direction, it's following the current, the flow that the culture outside is giving us, it's not coming from Yiddishkeit, whether it's music. When we say they rejected the Greek culture, it wasn't about only Torah mitzvahs. It was about dress, about shmam, levusham, or l'shayna, the style of talking. Sometimes we have the tendency, the Rambam says, Adam hu medini. A person by nature joins what people around him do. And therefore, we have to always be on guard to be the maccabees and take it very serious. Sometimes it's a dashbak evav. A person can look at it as a small thing. It's an afkimina. I say this word or that word. I talk a little bit more edel. I don't say things that sound like it's cool and it's with it. We do it because we have to adapt. Sometimes you want to bring people in. That's wonderful. But the sensitivity has to stay. And that's the sensitivity has to be developed. And that sensitivity to the way we speak, that is that is the battle of Chanukah, and that's why it's expressed with such a ruchniistic way of commemorating the Nes. It's not just a Su'udah. The menorah, there's no chiyuv Su'udah on Chanukah. The menorah of being fire, hoida'ah, it's on a much higher level, because this is here. Chanukah is a Yom Tiv where what we're celebrating is not only the Nes, as much as we're celebrating the fact, the Nes of a Yid, that a Yid is able to be in the world and be a Maccabee, stand higher and fight a Muhammad, but a Muhammad that's not about who wins, it's not about ego, it's about the Eibishter, about Ruchni, staying true, Torah true Yidin. And that's the Nekudah of Chanukah. We have to make sure that we always, we run in the opposite direction. Like, if you see something that may have shmutz, that's pshat, it may be Hanachas ha'olam, calling ourselves by a goyish name, calling us using l'shainis or dressing because that's the way the world dresses. That's the way the outside influences have us and would like to see us in the model's dress. That is the extreme opposite from the Maccabees. L'chaim, we should follow in the Maccabees' example and make it a real happy Chanukah.